Intend to snipe their general, but I think getting the losses onto their main units over here is absolutely the priority. And now we're able to fire down over this hill, and that is absolutely amazing. Absolutely textbook, that. Hello and welcome, my good students, to the continuation of our Napoleon Total War campaign as the Austrian Empire, and we are getting better and better with our positioning in our campaign now. In the previous episode, we actually consolidated our position around the Balkans and even Greece, where we did take Athens and of course Wallachia in one easy swoop, and we did go for a peace treaty with the Ottoman Empire, pushing our luck, it felt like, when we did ask for these two settlements in the peace settlement, but the Ottomans very happy to give it to us. It was a very brief peace though, only lasting for that one single turn. So we are now in a position where an Ottoman army, a full stack over here, is bearing down to retake Wallachia, but we should be able to deal with that very nicely indeed. We have some very well experienced and elite troops in this army defending Wallachia. And of course, the only men we're missing are these 10 men from the German Fusiliers over here. So we should be absolutely fine to take on this units over here. Might be best for us to take that head on very directly, rather than let it come over and besiege Wallachia. I'm just going to check over here. We can see a full stack in Istanbul over here. And what do they have actually? These European provincials aren't necessarily too bad by Ottoman standards. They do have some very standard 30 accuracy and 6 morale there. That's not too bad for them at all. The Marines are pretty decent as well. So it's by Ottoman standards, a fairly elite army in Istanbul, as you may well expect from the last remaining territory here of the Ottomans. So if we take on Istanbul, we will have completely rid ourselves of the Ottomans, which is absolutely brilliant. It's been a long time coming, a very long time coming. We are around turn 40 now, I believe. And like I said in the previous few episodes, we did take Milan as well. And we're just recovering over here. We do still need to replenish our troops over here. Let's have a look at the happiness. Yeah, if we take our armies out, we do still need to police this. Roughly for 10 turns-ish. It's ridiculous because I do have -10 lower order happiness there without an army inside it. So that will be rebelling and such if we don't police that. So we are going to send this army back over to Venice to replenish and of course guard it from the Württemberg threats, the ever-present Württemberg threat. That's been sat around the Tyrol region ever since they took it very early on in the campaign there. But not to worry, what we should do, just keep sabotaging their armies over here. But we have done so with our agent over here, and they shouldn't be able to move too far over here. That's not too bad at all. I'm thinking we should try and do the same over here with this Istanbul-based army. You can see it's actually somewhat well developed over here. Tier 2 barracks and magistrates over here. Tier 2 ordnance factory and school of poetry over here. So it's not the worst, not the best. Do have metalled roads though, which is very nice indeed. Sabotage army chance. Should we risk it? I think so. Did not happen. Agent was detected, but that's absolutely fine as long as they don't have an agent of their own about. We did of course lose our fleet presence, but that's not to worry so much. We are still recruiting over here. We've got one more turn to get out some 64 gunners, and then we can have a look at throwing our weight around into the waters over here, I think, and really have a look out so we can bring out some more trade ships to take on these trade nodes over here, which is excellent. If we just review our research, we have field ambulance in 3 turns and of course conscript infantry tactics in about 9 turns. That's just to unlock the rest of the buildings and the slots over here. What we should be looking at really is to upgrade a manufactory over here to a real factory. That will take 3.6 thousand. Our income is 6,000 at the moment. It's the highest it's been for a long time. So we will be able to get that next turn, I think, if things go all well. So if we just double check our prestige, we're not not looking great at all. In fact, apparently the Ottomans having a very mighty military presence. So I'm wondering where that's coming from, because we can see both of their major armies. That's rather interesting indeed. but not to worry too much there. So I think we're going to start this episode off with a battle. As ever, we are going to try and take on this army over here just to get rid of that so we can go straight back into Wallachia. We do have a backup army in the Balkans over here, which will need a few turns to replenish rather healthily over here, which is a small worry because we do have a supply depot over here. Where is it? So yeah, it's a one-tier supply post there, but that does increase our replenishment rate by 8%. And actually, we'll be able to recruit a few things over here if need be. Because of that, some Swiss line is actually not too bad at all. Might it be better? We do have a maximum amount of Swiss infantry. That's rather unfortunate. Rather unfortunate indeed. So we're just going to go straight into this battle, I think, and take this on, because that should not be too difficult at all. Okay, so the balance of power fairly medium, but they do have a lot of skirmishers in the form of these archers over here. That's not too bad at all. Once again, only a couple units of cavalry. It is the 18-pounder cannons though, which will be a small problem. Let's go straight in. It should be all good. Okay, so on our way to form up, we were hoping to take these hills and ridge lines over here, but the Ottomans are charging with their deadly lancers, or at least thinking about it, so we're going to run up and try and engage those with our light infantry over here and back up, of course, with some Swiss line over here. Just stop over here to get a nice little volley. They might need to square over here. Maybe not, we'll just stop here so we can get one little volley off of there but while they are rousing. Very nice little win there early on, but they will be coming back because they are still rather heavy in number. Only rousing, not entirely shattered. We can see now a lot of their units are about. They are pushing forward a tad. Looks like they're trying to set up their cannons over here to fire in to this position. It looks like we're pushing up a little too much over here. In fact, that's not so bad. I'm just going to stay in under here, just double checking what we're firing at over here. Looks like we are back onto that cavalry. What we're going to do is push up over onto this hill as previously intended. Or are we? Because they are deciding to come back. I think we're going to have to stop here, just reform a tad, double time that, and we should be fine on re-engaging that. Reinforcing over there. Cavalry over here, not entirely sure what it wants to do, but we do need to keep an eye on our own centre over here. And what we're going to do is pull back a tad over here, push forward with our lights, come around over here and form up a little better in the rear over here. That's going to be a tad difficult for now. We'll have to come back to that as we are watching this minor skirmish over here. Try and really push up though with our light infantry, that'd be great, so we can get onto this hill over here and fire down onto their European provincials there. It's going to be a tough one though. I think we should push forward a tad further so we can get some decent fire out there with our line infantry over here. And we are going to be very tightly packed like sardines over here, but not to worry. If we lengthen up over here and take the cover of the houses over here, that should be a bit better, but we're struggling with the lay of the land there a tad. We're going to bring a massive flank round to our left flank there, and the idea was similar over here actually, is to take the hills very nicely. So what we're going to do is take both of our infantry squads over here, just make a small column over here very quickly, and then we'll advance onto the hill over here and shoot into their flanks. Our cavalry is waiting in the back. We're going to come up over here to push around later on. We do have some reserve infantry over here which does need to push up. Looks like we're doing okay against these units over here, and they do have very low morale in their centre over here because we are right on top of them with some Swiss line infantry and our own Grenzers, which is brilliant. So what is this we're fighting? We're fighting the European provincials over here. Look at that. Their morale is absolutely terrible compared to our own. I forget exactly what number ours stands at. I think it's around 11 now that we're experienced. Very strange to have our, of course, light infantry in so close. We do have the cover now of the hill and the overlook as well, which is excellent. We will have to worry about this unit over here. I think our light infantry is firing on that just fine though. Might want to push up a tad further so we can get our line infantry in on that fine as well. So we'll just carry on with that, like so. Just watching the flank round over here as well. Might even be a good idea to take these buildings so we can have a very stable and covered position into their flank. Doing rather well actually, even with the rather thick formation over here. Not ideal to have such a thick formation usually, but it's working out. And have these Delhi Lancers come back? Yeah, this is a different squad of damaged regiments actually. We might need to form a square over here. I'll have to watch out for that. I'll tell these to attack manually. Not usually a great idea, but we do need to make sure we are firing on these specifically. And here I think, yeah, we'll stop there. Well, what are we doing? Well, let's pull back if we can. Unfortunately, we have to pull through our Swiss Grenadiers. They are routing, but not to where I think we'll bring back our Grenzers anyway and let our line infantry really pummel their centre. Get a force our cavalry round now to their flank. Set up a couple waypoints there, and I think what we'll do is push these two units onto the hill over here to cover our own flank. Very, very nice encirclement here, and our flank is pretty much complete over here. So what we're going to do is send, I think, one unit into this building, another in here, and then that lets us play with the cover over here. We will separate these out properly when we get closer. Might be an idea to actually get behind this wall over here, but we'll be right in front of the enemy there. Looks like we have some more lancers coming in over here, so we may well have to square up. But they will be taking collateral fire now, mixed in with this infantry. This is their Janissary Musketeers as well, so that's a slightly more advanced and elite units over here. And we have stumbled across all of their skirmish units over here with our cavalry. Did wonder where those were. Let's get straight on top of those. And hopefully, if we double time over here, we'll be able to get in range with our line infantry here to fire down into them as intended. We are actually just about in range with this line infantry over here, so we should be able to push up very, very soon into that centre. Looks like the cavalry's going to have a go over here though, so we do need to square up unfortunately, and we're going to halt over here to cover that. Whereas this unit can double time into this warehouse over here. A bit late on the approach with these squares, so we're just going to run straight into this building over here and try and fire into their flanks. This unit here.
We have taken the building, sir.
There we go, taking the building, excellent. And they are routing as well. That's both buildings we're starting to take now, and that is brilliant. The cavalry has in fact shattered. We're causing absolute havoc with our cavalry. Did intend to snipe their general, but I think getting the losses onto their main units over here is absolutely the priority. And now we're able to fire down over this hill, and that is absolutely amazing. Absolutely textbook that. Oh, such a view. Oh, very, very lucky to be able to take the fight to the enemy like this. We're going to just bring our cavalry in to cause absolute havoc in their routing skirmishers over here, who weren't even allowed to fight. I'm going to push up over here to take cover behind this wall, I think. That's going to be not so ideal from that position. We're going to have to sit over here. That might accidentally force a melee engagement here. We're going to have to push up, I think, over here in our centre to back up this centre infantry. We're finally starting to finish these awesome marines over here as well. They will need to properly shatter before we fully remove them. And I am going to bring these units of cavalry into this unit over here, because it looks like they're trying to line up to fire against our cavalry. So with this group, we're going to go over to these Bashi bazooks over here and really force those to retreat off. I think we're just going to about face over here and shoot these skirmishers in the back as they retreat. Very, very honourable indeed. Oh, absolutely amazing. I love it when you can just pull off a manoeuvre like this and take a hill and just shoot down unimpeded. Absolutely amazing. And once again, just let the cavalry pick off their retreating units. It is just their general remaining now, so I think what we're going to do is really bully these retreating units so that they don't have so many left over after the battle, and we don't have to spend so much time and effort in chasing those down. What we're going to do with this unit, they never actually got to the cover of that wall in the end, unfortunately. So we're just going to cover our flank over here. Hopefully we can get in here and help shoot that general, actually. So I think we'll be able to get away now with actually fast forwarding. Might just want to reposition a couple more units over here to help with this flank. Bring them out over here. And I think we will just fast forward now. We'll stutter a little, I'm afraid. It's always been something we've struggled with in this game, is when we fast forward. It does stutter, not to worry. We'll just ride down these units. Just to make sure they don't have so many people left over at the end of the battle. And everything is now shattered. Apart from a couple units over here, we'll just need to bring our cavalry over to finish that off. So the cavalry will be carrying us through to victory today once again. Looks like they're about to leave the battle, though they are retreating. Yep. So they will still have a few units left. We will have to take this to a second battle. What are these Bashi Bazooks doing? What are they doing? Are they trying to get a flank on our cavalry? That's a very, very interesting idea there. Let's come round. So overall, not a huge amount of losses on our side. Yeah, they are finally retreating. So let's go to the... Oh, no. Oh, they've hidden some skirmishers over here. Getting ahead of myself there. I wonder if there are many other hidden units about that we need to find. That should be a fairly easy win against this unit. Do have a lot of cavalry in there, with them being only archers. Classically unable to deal with cavalry. Yeah, it looks like they have another hidden units over here, right at the end. But are they retreating? That looks to be the case. So we've got some civilians running through as well. Yeah, even more hidden units. This is the thing about the Ottomans. They're skirmishers. They may well be outdated. They can certainly hide very well, and they're going to need to. We will be able to make contact with our cavalry before they exit the battlefield. No, we won't. Let's leave and see what we did. Okay, so only 584 losses on our side, but they do still have a lot of people remaining in that army. Not destroying many at all. Well, we did destroy 3.8 thousand. Absolutely massive there. We did get a trait for our general as well, and they are actually retreating on our side of the river here, which is absolutely in our favour as far as I'm concerned, because they haven't managed to retreat down to Istanbul, which is what I did fear. So we have the brave soldier trait, which is +2 to morale in battles. Absolutely brilliant. We should be able to finish this off, and certainly we can. So yeah, once again, it is mostly their skirmishers which got away. I am going to auto-resolve that. It's not going to be great for our remaining troops and such, but I don't think it's worth going for that. Yeah, more troops lost than in the main battle there. That's the risk of auto-resolve. But I think we'll be able to do that just fine. We should be able to recover before this main army comes up. What can we actually recruit from here? Line infantry and chevaulegers, that's all we really need over here. We can upgrade to a tax office soon, and of course a barracks would be very nice indeed. Do only have basic roads over here. It's going to take a lot of time to upgrade that, and the farms really not helping our replenishments over here. So I'm thinking for this, rather than replenish, we're going to have to recruit some more line infantry and remove our Jaegers over here. Whether we actually disband them or not, because they are rather well chevroned up here, might just be a case of taking them out of our army rather than disbanding them and just replacing them with fresh units. So with that being said, I think that's all we can do for this turn, really. I want to increase my treasury if possible. Do have another Russian army coming in, which is possibly helpful. Not being overly active, the Russians, but we shall see. Let's end the turn there, see what we can do. Okay, so trade agreement has been cancelled with the Kingdom of Saxony, and we have a nation joins our enemies. You can probably bet that is Saxony. Let's have a look. It is indeed. So we're now at war with Saxony as well. And that is actually a small problem, because that leaves us open in Bohemia. But if we look closer, it's probably because Prussia are sieging it down. And that is actually not so bad. Not so bad at all. What did we recruit? We got our 64 gun ships in the Adriatic Sea. We did have our reinforcements in Greece, because there are a couple raiding armies, I believe the Ottomans are looking around there. So I don't think we need to worry about Saxony. That's quite the strange option for them, let's say, for them to declare war while they're under siege. Because Prussia's turn does come before theirs, I believe. Let's just double check. Alright, Kingdom of Saxony. Yeah, it really is just Saxony and Thuringia that they have. So that should be fine. If we look over to our victory conditions, that might be a late game problem though. Yeah, so we do actually need to have Saxony and Thuringia to get a real campaign victory. We also need... Where are we? Is it Silesia I'm looking for? So we still need Silesia as well, which we did lose originally to the Ottomans. Looks like the Prussians have taken that back, so we will have to go to war with Prussia. And I believe if we look over to Galicia, yeah, this is another one I think we lost as well. Can't remember off the top of my head. No, this is one we've lost. Silesia belongs to Prussia anyway. I was getting mixed up there, but we do still need Galicia anyway. That's something that the Ottomans took and the Russians took from us, unfortunately. Now, having said that, I'm not seeing Galicia on here. Rather interesting, but we will need to take Volhynia over here. Interesting. Those are all late game things, very, very late game threats. We will need to, of course, march all the way to Paris and remove the French first. But after just saying that the Russians weren't so active, it looks like they've sorted out our problems in the Tyrol. They've got a battered army over here, and so do the Württemberg army over here. But I would still hazard a guess that they have some sort of army roaming through the mountainside here. So we'll see about that. Not a lot we can do about that at the moment, unfortunately, apart from send this group all the way over to Vienna. And we're actually looking pretty damn decent on our replenishment there. If we just go into Vienna, that'll be even better there. So that'll only take one turn to fully replenish. That's excellent. So what we were going to do specifically with our money, if I can find it again, we're going to upgrade this factory. And in 7 turns, what that would do is not only increase our income, but unlock all of these technologies in the industrial tier 2, which would be very, very nice indeed, because we will need those to support a strong economy. And I think really, I want to look around and actually invest some money into our major settlements. Really looking for opera houses, I think, so we do get some happiness and some more wealth per turn, which is excellent, because that really will add up. Really will add up. Our roads are okay here. What about the minor settlements? That's the thing. These vineyards and wine estates are max tier as well, which is very, very useful indeed. We're locked behind the next upgrades over here. Again, this is only a small navy. We don't actually have an admiral over here. And an admiral would actually really help us, if we had one with any traits. That's rather interesting indeed. But we'll need to get one. So he's going to take our 64 gunner, as he should do. And what we can do is have a look for some French or Ottoman trade, I think. We should find some along these nodes. But we're not seeing anything attached to these nodes, suggesting that they are open. It's really tempting me again then to actually invest our money into some trade ships. I think first what we're going to do is move our armies over here to the supply post, because there was an Ottoman raiding group over here. Rather interesting indeed. Gonna have to get rid of this army here very quickly before that starts harassing us. Another unstoppable attacker plus 3 to command. It's not necessarily bad. But as you can see here, our replenishment is absolutely abysmal. So what I'm going to do is actually take these 2 Jaegers out at least, and just recruit some more Fusiliers. So that once again has run our treasury out, unfortunately. As soon as I say, you know, invest back into our land, just not allowed to do it. I'd hazard a guess this it's 2 turns that we'll need to replenish this unit. So what we'll do is we will wait 1 turn out over here. You can see our happiness isn't the best, but it's stable over here. That won't cause any riots. So we're free to move out and reinforce in Wallachia very, very soon indeed. And we can see this actually, the army inside Istanbul is remaining there, so that's really good. That is giving us time to move by ourselves there. I'm going to move this unit back all the way to the Balkans, just so it's safe and does police it. With that being said, once again, I think we're going to keep an eye on this mountain range over here and see what Württemberg does as we end our turn. But having said that, once again, can we see if we can trade some technology perhaps for some money? We'll do some more useless ones to Bavaria over here if we send them these. And I will ask for... Oh, they don't have 1,000. That's interesting. They're very, very poor indeed. That's because they have a couple full stacks there. Not to worry. What about Portugal? You should have money. Let's do the same technologies again. We'll demand... Yeah, 2,000. What do you think about that? They said no. So we will ask for demand rather than offer. Thank you. Ask for 1,500. Let's get rid of that 0. Doesn't look nice. They said no once again. All I have is technologies. Please pay for them. Give me money. Ask for 1,000, and they say yes to that one. Excellent. So what we're going to do is rinse and repeat. We'll give that to the Papal States because I know... Oh, they have trade unions. Also have top gallants. Top gallants will be rather useful actually. Maybe we'll just get that off of them. Go for that. They said no. How tight are they? Oh dear, the Papal States being tight. Who would have heard? Who would have thought about it? Who would have thunk it? Can we trade any technologies? No, everyone else seems to be doing a tad better than us. They're going for the naval technologies, really, aren't they? Why don't we get peace with Spain, just out of interest? If I give them poverty control laws. They said no. Alright, so we're just going to end the turn there and see how the Württembergs move here. Let's see. Okay, so it appears it wasn't the Württembergs who were the closest threat. The French have just marched through Switzerland over here to go straight to Milan and siege that down. We have Henri de la Borde over here attacking us with a fairly sizable army, nearly a full stack. This wouldn't be such a bad problem for us if we weren't struggling with our replenishments. We are down some troops in a few of our squadrons here, and unfortunately it's our more elite Hungarian Fusiliers which are down a bit, and we are down a bit with our cavalry as well. These Uhlans aren't looking great. It is only a few of our squadrons and they're not down too much, so I think we'll be able to take this. I think we'll be able to take this just fine. We just need to be smart about it. And we should be able to encircle a few of these units if we're able to play us our way. Their huge reliance on cannons over here is actually working in our favour. I don't think cannons really that useful, especially since they only have 2 units of horses or cavalry. I think we'll be able to deal with those quite well and then just pounce on their cannons with our own cavalry there. So let's get in. This will be a town battle. Wish us luck. Okay, so we've had quite the awkward setup over here. Our deployment circle was right on the edge. The maximum range was right on the edge of these buildings here. So a little hodgepodge with our deployment. We're going to take a defensive line, trying to focus around the centre here with our light infantry, hoping that the enemy will advance into us. It's not looking like that's going to be the case, so they're quite happy to sit back with their cannons. Hoping our own cannons can take on this colonne d'attack over here with its huge amount of infantry in that battalion there. We're going to lump a very strong left flank here with our elite infantry there to tackle the huge amount of infantry over here with some fusiliers and of course the 2 colonne attacks. With that being said, we're going to make a slightly weaker but so numerous right flank over here so that we can aid our cavalry in actually getting in on top of this massive line of cannons over here. So hopefully that will work out. We're not going to deploy too smartly to begin with over here. I'm hoping if they do push up into us, we'll be able to take a couple regiments over to take this wall over here and then stand on this minor hill over here to back them up with a couple more regiments over there. But of course things never will go to plan exactly how I want them. I might want to take this wall over here actually, so that what we can do is take cover, of course, with our units. We might want to move up just a little more over here so we can help out like that. Might be a good idea to take the tree line as well, really, with our light infantry, because we are really getting battered under this cannon fire at the moment. So we'll slowly move up and make some thinner lines there so we don't take so many losses there. This cavalry with chevaulegers, looks like they want to come straight at us over here, so we're going to have to be careful of that. We'll keep our general behind this building over here so he doesn't get taken off by some cannons. Start firing on this colonne attack once again. Is their general just out of range of our cannons, but really wants to use the shock of losing their general rather than do him in early. I'm going to double time this so we get to the cover very quickly. And then what we're going to do is get over here and cover in there as quick as possible. Landschützen over here taking some cover as needed, I think, but we might want to push in a little more. Here's some cavalry coming in over here. Looks like I will need to make a square. We are getting some shots in, not ideally placed for this, but we will need to square up, I think. Try not to do that too late. Got to make multiple squares, I think. Just make a couple there. That should be absolutely fine. A little close together there. Not ideal. That is rather ugly. Should not be doing that. Should not be doing that to yourself at all. But we're going to double time out of there so that we can get some supporting fire and be ready for these fusiliers coming in on our right flank, I think. Fighting has started over here. You can see the fusiliers have been slightly shocked over there with a big old volley firing out on them. So are we actually in range over here? No, we're not. We do need to get in with our Landschützen over here. But that's going to be rather difficult. We are going to have to fire over the hill there. We will have to move up with our line infantry over here a bit better, like so. And I think push in with our general because our morale is going to be under threat as well. Cannon's not doing as much as I'd like, unfortunately. Because they do have to fire over the hill as well. But hopefully this cover really makes a difference for us because we are slightly battered from previous battles, of course. Killed their general already. That's from some stray shots. That is excellent. But there's not a lot we can do to make a real morale shock there. We need to come out of these squares and push in with our right flank here and actually really push in hard, I think, while this unit's isolated over here. Double time that. Bring this unit over to help with our centre, I think. Double time over there. And what we can do is bring our cavalry out to our flank a little more. We'll make them thin lined over here so we can just push in onto their cannons and stop that fire there. Their general is being a little questionable here, but I suppose after losing the south we should have squared up here to help with that flank, but not to worry there, I don't think so much. Just run in over here. Might be losing this unit over here to a morale routes, but not to worry. Just start firing on our cannons over here with that, like so. I want to move up a tad. How are we firing us over here? Trees really not helping with my own personal vision there. Right on top of this unit over here, actually. Let's get onto their flanks and curl around over here. This has come up a lot quicker than I was expecting. So what we can do is send our cavalry through one at a time, I think, and hit their own cavalry and cannons over here. We might want to push up this reserve unit actually. To help out with our centre, to be honest. Let's do that. Looks like they're going for a melee charge here, but that's not a good idea because they're going to feel the full force of our line infantry. Nasty, nasty indeed. Yeah, that one at a time is working rather well. Gonna have to push in once again. Let's just keep going like that. Ignore this unit of infantry, just push straight in. They do have units of dragoons fairly horribly split there actually for us. Yeah, there we go. Finally rousing off those Fusiliers. Their general staff's gone, but that doesn't matter too much in itself once the general himself's gone. I want to recycle these units to push up over here. That's retreating very, very nicely indeed. We'll have a look at moving that in a second, but I do want to get onto their cannons as quickly as possible there. And what we'll do is bring in this unit now as some reserve to countercharge the dragoons, which are routing, having some morale problems because they're now under fire from our line infantry there, and that will be in their flank now, so that's very, very useful indeed. Looks like we can leave that for the moment to have another look at this. I think what we're going to do is just rouse off over here and swap positions like so. How are we doing with the ammo over here? I think we're doing okay so far. Just need to watch our own morale over here. And what we can do is countercharge, like I said, over here. And we are under fire from some previously retreating units. Let's deal with them. Send these units out to curl it in and help with the centre and move it, or slowly move into the trees over here. Would be very, very nice indeed. Can we use our generals to help us much at all? I think we probably can. If we go over to help with our morale over here and then start inspiring some units, we can start getting some decent fire off there. Let's inspire this unit of Hungarian Fusiliers, shall we? Yeah, we're doing fine over here against those units. Let's bring our horses, or cavalry rather. I keep saying horses, very unprofessional. Let's move in and charge on these Fusiliers over here. Get onto their cannons and finally rid ourselves of them. Then we can rear charge their main line, I think. It looks like they're coming in for another nasty, nasty melee charge here. I want to double check our cannon fire there and just come in over here to support. And actually I think retreat a tab with our general because he's going to be into some nasty, nasty fire there. Our morale not looking great on the Landerschützen, but not to worry, that is unfortunately a problem with those anyway. And we're going to make a massive line here, just double time into the trees there and really source out that centre attack. They are coming back with their dragoons though, so we're going to have to meet those with our cavalry. I think we'll be safe over here to really reinforce our centre once again. Just move away over here. Their cannons are dealt with. Let's move on to their dragoons with everything we have over here. And just overwhelm them, I think. It looks like this flank over here is being dealt with fairly well. Let's come back to our general. Can we use him to boost the morale over to our own centre in the tree line here? Looks like it is just this one regiment over here. That is some conscripts as well. But even though they are conscripts, the French infantry does have some very nice morale indeed. Looks like we're getting on top of these dragoons okay. And that is excellent. They'll be shattered in just a second, you should hope. And they are indeed. So we can go for this loneliest of Fusiliers. Looks like they're wandering about their formation, double timing as well, but not double timing quick enough to stop our cavalry charge, are they? They won't have enough men there to form a decent square either, if that is indeed what they're hoping for. But our own cavalry's tired and struggling with the terrain there, so we are going to take some shots, I think, before we make contact. Nope, that's very, very nice, but not the most solid charge. Rather, it came in full force there and collected. But it is going to do the job here, and we are going to have to move as one body with our cavalry as ever. This unit has formed a square for some reason. Alright, we'll try and fire on that then with our cannons. In fact, we should really be going for this colonne d'attack still, I think. I think, though, we're starting... Yeah, we have run out of ammunition with this unit of Landerschützen, so they're going to pull back. There's nothing else they can do there. We're going to push forward once again. I think take the wall over here with this unit. Why is our morale shaking over here? That's rather interesting. Just make sure this unit is fully shattered. Nothing on our flank from any rousing Frenchmen. And we can start moving in once again through the tree line as this unit is rousing off. Just move up over here for now, I think. How we're doing over here, we've fully shattered that group. And I think we're going to have to go for this French-Irish Legion, which is now isolated. trying to cover the route of the conscripts, I think. I'd love to get on the back of this column attack, but I don't think we quite have the power to do that just yet. We need to make some sort of coherency as well with our own cavalry. We're being hit by the rousing conscripts, so they might get some shots off into us. Their Irish Legion. Their morale's not doing great though. It's a shame that they do just have the slight vision advantage there with the hill. But we do have the cover over here, which is really, really helping us. So it is quite the slog. Are they going in for another melee charge here? We might want to punish that if possible. They're not entirely sure what they want to do, are they? They are rousing here with those Fusiliers, which is excellent. It looks like the French-Irish Legion is rousing as well. So what we're going to do is make some coherency here. Let's our infantry deal with them. And actually try and get in on the backs over here to help out this melee charge. Because that's not great at all. In fact, let's get our general back over here. Getting on the Grenadiers is not a good idea, because I think the Grenadiers actually excel in melee combat, at least for line infantry. You can see their enemy morale is not great at all. We're winded compared to their very tired, which is excellent help indeed. We're getting some very clean shots into this colonne attack as well. Since they have such a thick, massive regiment there, full of infantry, our accuracy, especially at this close range, is going to be very, very good indeed. I wish we had access to true grenades over here. I think the Darth mod did totally remove them, unfortunately, because we'd be able to get a massive volley into this colonne attack right now. But it's looking like we're going to be able to take advantage of some rousing units over here. So we're going to get in with one unit there, and I think help the melee charge with the rest of our groups here. How are we doing in the trees? I think we're all clear there, so that is brilliant. So it is just these units over here, rousing and shattering over here to clean up. I want to face this a little better. Not entirely sure what they're doing over here. They're trying to take the wall as well. Have we swapped? Okay, what we're going to have to do here is rally and inspire, I think, this unit. And run away, because you can see our general is doing very, very nicely there. Luckily these people are looking the wrong way, so what we're going to do is actually get a flanking shot into them if possible. I don't know what we're doing over here, just refusing to fire by the looks of it. Just completely refusing to fire there. We'll get some cheeky cannon shots into their flank there though. Just wary of these rousing units over here, wary of them coming back. Why are we not firing? We're reloading by the looks of things. We might want to just bring back these units to our flank actually. There we go. Ah, we're firing into the flanks over here. I think what we should do is manually target that. Bring out our lancers over here. Reform our infantry over here, but we've got barely any people in that now. Only 104. It's not good enough. We are chasing off these units. I think we'll leave them to chase off, and we will make some more coherency over here. A hard battle, that. As you'd expect. Very, very lucky to fight that off, I think. Chase down this colonne attack. And I think that will do. That will do. Certainly a heroic victory there. A lot of losses on both sides, and that won't be fully depleted, that army. Let's go to the strategic map and see what we've done. Okay, so we took a lot of losses, 1,200 losses, but the enemy does have 300, roughly 400 remaining there. Let's see how that translates on here. They have retreated, but without a general. Let's end the turn. Alrighty, so with that being done, I think we're looking pretty decent. We have a new gentleman in Austria, and I think we're going to have to send him over to our Italian-based university to research. Does he have any traits? He has no traits. That's unlucky. We can see that there is a Prussian gentleman in there. I don't think he'll be helping us, unfortunately. No, he's not, which is a shame. We have a spy in Moravia. That is excellent. I love having more spies. And I think we're going to have to push this one into Strasbourg so that we don't get any nasty ambushes from Switzerland again. We have some roads actually in Moravia as well. And Wallachia has got those reinforcements as well. +1 to morale and battle because of this. We are going to need to recruit something to fill this gap here. I'm not entirely sure what we lost there. Rather interesting indeed. Might have been those Hungarian Fusiliers, unfortunately. Not to worry. What do we actually want to reinforce that with? I think just some more line infantry, really. Never hurts to have more line infantry. And that's very nice indeed. We're not going to chase this because we don't know what is in Switzerland. And really, I just want to sit and replenish and watch our policing as well. So we are going to be stuck in Milan here for a bit of time, unfortunately. Might be an idea, really, to start moving against the Tyrol here. Actually, if this could be a massive mistake if they do have an army over here, but I somewhat doubt it, considering that the Russians are over here with battered army. We do have Seiss over here. I think it's not too bad to start pushing in here and really remove that threat. But unfortunately, guys, I am going to have to end it there. Just looking at the time we've been going for, it's really going to drag on this episode, unfortunately. It's a real shame with this game that we only get a couple battles in before it really drags out. Going to have to find a way to edit that down a little more concisely for you there. But I really hope you enjoyed the video. Very, very nice defence on Milan, if I may say so myself. That's another French full stack out of the way. I wonder if that really affects their prestige too much. Of course it doesn't. Their military is still absolutely astronomical there, but not to worry at all. If we look at their economics, actually we are leading that. And weirdly, it's the Ottomans who have the greatest economic power there. Maybe that's because they control the Black Sea trade nodes. But that's something for another day. I will have to say goodbye there. So thank you very much for watching. To those who have been continued with this campaign, it's been very much appreciated indeed. But I hope all of your nights and days are auspicious. Goodbye.